Novation just announced two new circuit devices, the Circuit Trax and the Circuit Rhythm. And here they are. Just kidding. Novation does not know who I am. Freebie. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and be sure to check out my upcoming free live stream concert, Freebeat Live Home Edition Volume 2. It's on Saturday, February 13th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the channel. Hope to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get started. So yes, today Novation did unveil two new circuit devices, the Circuit Trax and the Circuit Rhythm. These were leaked a couple months ago, and a few weeks ago I did make a video looking at those leaks lightly, but today those rumors became fact, and I think most people are pretty excited. In fact, on YouTube here, there are already quite a few videos on the Circuit Trax, which was sent out to some of the bigger YouTubers to take a look at. I highly recommend checking out Bo Beat's video on the Circuit Trax. I'll link that in the description. Also down in the description, I'm going to link Gabe Miller Music's take on the two new circuits. Unfortunately, Novation did not send him either of them, which is a real shame because I think he's kind of the master of the circuit. He does have a bit of a smaller channel, but I am really excited for him to get his hands on these new units and see what he can do. But for the most part, people seem to be pretty excited and pretty impressed. The Circuit Rhythm is kind of an upgraded version of the original circuit. Looks like the main upgrades are some new effects as well as two dedicated MIDI tracks, so that's pretty cool. And that's actually going to be out pretty soon. It'll have a retail price of $400 US, so a little bit of a price bump from the original circuit, but I think that's going to be okay. And then there's the Circuit Rhythm, which will be releasing this summer. And unfortunately, we did not get too much information about the Rhythm, other than it's a sample-based version of the circuit, and it's got 8 sample tracks, so that's very cool. We also know you're going to be able to sample directly into it, which is something I'm very excited for. However, there is one spec that I do not like about the Novation Circuit Rhythm, and it actually drops the magnifying glass onto an issue that I've been finding more and more frustrating the more I've gotten into electronic music. And it's actually an issue that kind of plagued me when I was looking for a sampler way back in 2010 when I was touring with my band. So today I'm not really going to talk about the specs of the new circuits or anything like that. Like I said, there's already a lot of great videos here on YouTube that cover all of that. I'll leave those down in the description so you can check those out. But today I want to shine a light on the issue of sample space. You see, the newly announced Circuit Rhythm only has 240 seconds of sampling time. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that's just not enough. Maybe I use my samples different. Maybe I have a completely different, expectation for what a sample groovebox should be able to do. But in my opinion, I want to use these like a miniature DAW, especially if I can sample right into it. I hate working on music at computers. I would love to be able to record a sample, put it where it needs to be, apply all the, the chopping, the starting, the stopping, effects and everything, and arrange a full piece of music, not just a loop. I want to do a full piece of music, 5, 6, 7 minutes long, entirely based on samples. And 240 seconds is not enough time to do that, in my opinion. So let's take a look at some of the samplers I do have. Starting with this one. This is the P033KO. This is a pocket operator made by Teenage Engineering. Mine has a cracked screen, unfortunately, because I'm an idiot. This is a $90 little micro sampler. It's got a built-in mic as well as a line in for direct sampling, and it has 40 seconds of sampling time. Now you can take those samples, you can either put them in a melodic slot where it automatically pitches those into a diatonic scale, or you can put them into a drum slot where it'll slice your sample automatically into 16 different little slices. So you can have 8 different drum kits, each with 16 sounds, as well as 8 different melodic sounds in here, or whatever you want. You can use a drum kit for a bunch of different sound effects or vocals. You can also do pitched vocals and pitched sound effects. There's a lot you can do with this. There's effects, you can spread those over 16 different patterns, you can chain those in any order that you'd like, up to 128 times. So you can make some pretty cool tracks on this, and it's only $90 US. 40 seconds of sampling time, I think, fits right in line with the rest of the feature set of the P033KO, and I think it's one of the coolest devices you can get right now. This is the Electron model cycles, but today I want you to pretend that it's the model samples. The Model Samples is a groove box by Electron that retails for $300 US, and it is a 6-track sequencer that works entirely with samples. You can import your own using micro USB, which is kind of an outdated method of doing it, but that's okay, we can overlook that. Now, the Electron Model Samples holds 1 gigabyte total of samples. That's pretty good. And per project, you get up to 64 megabytes of sample space, which that equates to about 720 seconds of mono sampling time, or 360 seconds in stereo. Again, that's not a ton, but that's still a huge improvement over 240 seconds of sampling space. And of course, the rhythm circuit does not have a price announced, but them tracks is $400 US, and I can only imagine that the circuit rhythm is going to be more than that. Again, the Model Samples, $300 US. So for me personally, someone who's looking to arrange full songs, I'd rather pick up an Electron Model Samples than the new circuit, at least from what we know right now, based on sampling time alone. And that includes things like vocals and maybe like horn passages and stuff like that. So 240 seconds does not seem like enough time at all. Again, on the samples, we get 360 in stereo and up to 720 in mono. I feel like I can really work with that, and honestly, I'm really considering adding the Model Samples to my collection and running some songs side by side with the cycles and the samples. I think we're gonna have to zoom the camera out for this one. Yep. So this is the Roland SPD-SX, and this is my tripod leg. Anyway, this is the Roland SPD-SX sampling pad. Now this is a professional piece of gear. This is a sampler and sample player that a lot of the times you'll see on stage with many touring musicians, you know, all the way to like the top of the pop star food chain. Their drummers always have a Roland SPD-SX on them. I've had this one for about a year, but I've had 2 iterations of this product before in the past. One while I was touring with my band and one while I was drumming in musical theater productions. These retail right now for about $600 US. This is a very, very powerful instrument. You can sample directly into it. You can import via a flash drive. You can import via USB to your computer. There's software to arrange everything on your computer how you want it. You've got, I believe, 100 patches. And each patch can contain 9 samples on the 9 pads here, as well as I believe there's 6 inputs on the back, 2 foot pedals and 4 pads for external triggers that you can set up. And of course, it's all triggerable via MIDI as well. If you've seen any of my live shows here on the channel, this is what I run all the backing tracks from. The sampling time on this starts at 4 gigabytes. That's up to 360 minutes in stereo and 720 minutes in mono. If this is only $200 more than something like the Circuit Rhythm, why does the Circuit Rhythm have 240 seconds, whereas this can have 720 minutes? That just does not make sense to me. Now, you could say that these two devices are very different, which is true, but they are both sample-based machines. I mean, it's 2021. How are we still measuring sample space in megabytes? That seems absurd to me. Like, have you looked at computers? In the computer that I'm editing this video on, there's 32 gigabytes of RAM. I just built a super budget computer for a friend for $350 that has 8 gigabytes of RAM. So again, why are we still measuring sample time in seconds and sample space in megabytes in 2021? It just does not make sense to me. Storage is not expensive, and it wouldn't kill these companies to actually throw us a bone and give us some usable amounts of space. And maybe I don't know something about the main boards of all these devices, you know, in terms of thermals and other factors like that, but to me it just seems so strange to look and see that 64 megabytes of sample space is considered decent. I don't get it. So I would love to know what you guys think in a comment below. Let me know if you're excited for the new circuits too. We can talk about those in the comments here as well. How do you guys use samples? Do you think that 240 seconds of sampling time is adequate in a $400 device? Doesn't matter if you say yes or no. Let me know why. I want to discuss this with you guys in the comment section. If you enjoyed listening to me rant, go ahead and leave a like on the video. If not, you can leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.